Hello students, welcome to this video on CBSE Class 10 Mathematics. In this video, we will continue our discussion on some applications of trigonometry with part 3 of the chapter. We will understand important concepts and solve problems based on the application of trigonometric ratios in real-life situations. So, keep your notebook and pen ready, and let us begin with some applications of trigonometry part 3. Let us first understand the question. From the top of a lighthouse, an observer looks at a ship and finds the angle of depression to be 60 degrees. The height of the lighthouse is 90 meters, and we have to find how far the ship is from the lighthouse. Now, let us understand the figure. Here, pointer represents the observer standing at the top of the lighthouse, and AB represents the lighthouse. The height of the lighthouse is 90 meters. Point C represents the position of the ship, and BC represents the distance of the ship from the lighthouse. The line AC is the line of sight from the observer to the ship. The horizontal line through the observer is AE. The angle between the horizontal line AE and the line of sight AC is 60 degrees. This is the angle of depression. Also, AB is perpendicular to BC, so triangle ABC is a right-angled triangle. Since AE is parallel to BC, the angle of depression at A and the angle at C are alternate interior angles. Therefore, the angle at C is also 60 degrees. The question also gives the value of root 3 as 1.73. In the next step, we will use this figure and the given information to calculate the distance of the ship from the lighthouse. Now, let us consider triangle ABC. Here, AB represents the height of the lighthouse. C represents the position of the ship. And A represents the position of the observer. We are given that angle EAC is equal to 60 degrees. Since AE is parallel to BC, angle EAC and angle ACB are alternate angles. Therefore, angle ACB is also equal to 60 degrees. Now, for angle ACB, the opposite side is AB and the adjacent side is BC. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, in the right-angled triangle ABC, tangent 60 degrees is equal to AB divided by BC. Since AB is 90 meters, we get root 3 equal to 90 divided by BC. We have obtained root 3 equal to 90 divided by BC. Therefore, BC is equal to 90 divided by root 3. Now, let us rationalize the denominator. We multiply both the numerator and the denominator by root 3. Therefore, BC is equal to 90 multiplied by root 3 divided by root 3 multiplied by root 3. Since root 3 multiplied by root 3 is 3, we get BC equal to 30 root 3. We are given that root 3 is equal to 1.73. Therefore, BC is equal to 30 multiplied by 1.73. So, BC is equal to 51.9 meters. Therefore, the ship is 51.9 meters far from the lighthouse. Now, let us understand the question. As observed from the top of a 75-meter high lighthouse from sea level, the angles of depression of two ships are 30 degrees and 45 degrees. One ship is exactly behind the other on the same side of the lighthouse. We have to find the distance between the two ships. In the figure, point B represents the observer at the top of the lighthouse, and A represents the foot of the lighthouse. Therefore, AB represents the height of the lighthouse, which is 75 meters. There are two ships shown in the figure. The nearer ship is at point D, and the farther ship is at point C. The horizontal line through the observer is BX. The two lines from the observer to the ships are the lines of sight. the angle of depression towards the nearer ship is 45 degrees, and the angle of depression towards the farther ship is 30 degrees. Now, observe angle XBC and angle BCA. Since BX is parallel to AC, these two angles are alternate angles. Therefore, they are equal. So, angle BCA is also equal to 30 degrees. Similarly, observe angle XBD and angle BDA. These are also alternate angles because BX is parallel to AD. Therefore, they are equal. So, angle BDA is also equal to 45 degrees. Now, we have established the two angles at the ships. In the next step, we will use these two right-angle triangles to find the distance of each ship from the lighthouse and then calculate the distance between the two ships. Now, let us consider triangle BAD. We know that the height of the lighthouse, AB, is 75 meters. AD represents the distance of the nearer ship from the foot of the lighthouse. Let the distance between the two ships, DC, be x meters. Now, consider triangle BAD. For angle ADB, the opposite side is AB, and the adjacent side is AD. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, in the right-angle triangle BAD, tangent 45 degrees is equal to AB divided by AD. Substituting the values, tangent 45 degrees is equal to 75 divided by AD. We know that tangent 45 degrees is equal to 1. Therefore, 1 is equal to 75 divided by AD. Hence, AD is equal to 75 meters. So, the distance of the nearer ship from the foot of the lighthouse is 75 meters. In the figure, we can now see that AD is 75 meters, while DC, the distance between the two ships, is x meters. In the next step, we will consider the second triangle to find the value of x. Now, let us consider angle ACB. For angle ACB, the opposite side is AB, and the adjacent side is AC. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, in the right-angle triangle BAC, tangent 30 degrees is equal to AB divided by AC. Substituting the values, tangent 30 degrees is equal to 75 divided by AC. We know that tangent 30 degrees is equal to 1 divided by root 3. Also, AC is equal to AD plus DC. We already know that AD is 75 meters and DC is x meters. Therefore, AC is equal to x plus 75. So, 1 divided by root 3 is equal to 75 divided by x plus 75. Cross multiplying, we get x plus 75 equal to 75 root 3. Therefore, x is equal to 75 root 3 minus 75. Taking 75 common, x is equal to 75 multiplied by root 3 minus 1. Using root 3 equal to 1.73. X is equal to 75 multiplied by 1.73 minus 1. Therefore, x is equal to 75 multiplied by 0.73. So, x is equal to 54.75 meters. Hence, the distance between the two ships is 54.75 meters. Let us understand the question. From the top of a 7-meter high building, the angle of elevation of the top of a cable tower is 60 degrees, and the angle of depression of its foot is 45 degrees. We have to determine the height of the cable tower. In the figure, A represents the observer standing at the top of the building, and AB represents the height of the building, which is 7 meters. C represents the top of the cable tower, and D represents the foot of the cable tower. The horizontal line through the observer is AE. The line AC is the line of sight from the observer to the top of the cable tower. The angle between the horizontal line and this line of sight is 60 degrees. Therefore, the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. Similarly, AD is the line of sight from the observer to the foot of the cable tower. The angle between the horizontal line and AD is 45 degrees. Therefore, the angle of depression is 45 degrees. Point E is on the cable tower at the same level as the observer. So, AE is horizontal and is perpendicular to the cable tower. We need to find the total height of the cable tower, which is CD. We will first find the distance between the building and the cable tower, and then use the angle of elevation to find the height of the portion of the tower above the observer. Let us solve this step by step. Let the height of the cable tower CD be h meters. The height of the building AB is 7 meters. Since ABDE is a rectangle, the opposite sides are equal. Therefore, AB is equal to ED, which is equal to 7 meters. Now, observe that the total height of the cable tower CD is made up of two parts, CE and ED. Therefore, CE plus ED is equal to CD. Since CD is h meters and ED is 7 meters, we get CE plus 7 is equal to h. Therefore, CE is equal to h minus 7 meters. Now, consider the right-angled triangle AED. For angle AED, the opposite side is ED and the adjacent side is AE. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, tangent 45 degrees is equal to ED divided by AE. Substituting the values, we get 1 equal to 7 divided by AE. Therefore, AE is equal to 7 meters. Now, let us consider the right-angled triangle AEC. For angle CAE, the opposite side is CE, and the adjacent side is AE. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, tangent 60 degrees is equal to CE divided by AE. We already know that CE is equal to h minus 7, and AE is equal to 7 meters. So, tangent 60 degrees is equal to h minus 7 divided by 7. We know that tangent 60 degrees is equal to root 3. Therefore, root 3 is equal to h minus 7 divided by 7. On cross multiplying, we get 7 root 3 equal to h minus 7. Therefore, 7 root 3 plus 7 is equal to h. Taking 7 common, h is equal to 7 multiplied by root 3 plus 1. Using root 3 equal to 1.73. H is equal to 7 multiplied by 1.73 plus 1. Therefore, h is equal to 7 multiplied by 2.73. So, h is equal to 19.11 meters. Hence, the height of the cable tower is 19.11 meters. Let us consider the given question. Two poles of heights 18 meters and 7 meters are erected on the ground. A wire of length 22 meters is tied to the top of the poles. We have to find the angle made by the wire with the horizontal. In the figure, A represents the top of the taller pole and B represents its foot. The height AB is 18 meters. Similarly, C represents the top of the shorter pole and D represents its foot. The height CD is 7 meters. The wire AC has a length of 22 meters. We can draw horizontal lines from point A as well as from point C. Now, consider CE perpendicular to AB. Since AB and CE are both vertical lines and AE is horizontal, the line CE is drawn perpendicular to AB. Let us solve this question step by step. Two poles of height 18 meters and 7 meters are erected on the ground. A wire of length 22 meters is tied to the top of the poles. We have to find the angle made by the wire with the horizontal. In the figure, AB and CD represent the heights of the two poles. The height of the first pole AB is 18 meters and the height of the second pole CD is 7 meters. AC represents the length of the wire, which is 22 meters. The angle ACE represents the angle made by the wire with the horizontal. A horizontal line can be drawn from point A as well as from point C. Now, consider CE perpendicular to AB. Since CBDC is a rectangle, its opposite sides are equal. Therefore, CD is equal to EB, which is 7 meters. Also, AE plus CB is equal to AB. Substituting the values, AE plus 7 is equal to 18. Therefore, AE is equal to 11 meters. Now, consider the right-angled triangle AEC. For angle ACE, the opposite side is AE and the hypotenuse is AC. The ratio of the opposite side and the hypotenuse reminds us of the sine ratio. Therefore, sin C is equal to AE divided by AC. Substituting the values, sin C is equal to 11 divided by 22. Therefore, sin C is equal to 1/2. But we know that sin 30 degrees is equal to 1/2. Therefore, sin C is equal to sin 30 degrees. Hence, angle C is equal to 30 degrees. Therefore, the angle made by the wire with the horizontal is 30 degrees. Let us first understand the question. The angle of elevation of a cloud from a point 60 meters above a lake is 30 degrees, and the angle of depression of the reflection of the cloud in the lake is 60 degrees. We have to find the height of the cloud from the lake surface. In the figure, point A represents the observer, and point B represents the point on the lake surface directly below the observer. The height of the observer above the lake surface is 60 meters. Point P represents the cloud, and point Q represents the reflection of the cloud in the lake. The horizontal line through the observer is AD. The line AP is the line of sight from the observer to the cloud. The angle between the horizontal line and AP is 30 degrees. Therefore, the angle of elevation of the cloud is 30 degrees. Similarly, AQ is the line of sight from the observer to the reflection of the cloud. The angle between the horizontal line and AQ is 60 degrees. Therefore, the angle of depression of the reflection is 60 degrees. The height of the person is neglected, as given in the question. An important point to remember is that the distance of the cloud from the lake surface is equal to the distance of its reflection from the lake surface. Therefore, if the cloud is at a certain height above the lake, its reflection will appear at the same distance below the lake surface. In the next steps, we will use these two angles and the given height of 60 meters to find the height of the cloud. Let us continue with the solution. Let PC be equal to x meters, where x represents the height of the cloud from the lake surface. Since the distance of the cloud from the lake surface is equal to the distance of its reflection from the lake surface, PC is equal to CQ. Therefore, CQ is also equal to x meters. Now, let us identify the different points in the figure. Point A represents the observer above the lake, and AB is equal to 60 meters. Point P represents the cloud. Point Q represents the reflection of the cloud. The angle PAD is the angle of elevation, and it is equal to 30 degrees. The angle DAQ is the angle of depression, and it is equal to 60 degrees. Also, ABCD forms a rectangle. Therefore, AB is equal to CD, which is equal to 60 meters. Now, PC is made up of PD and DC. Therefore, PD plus DC is equal to PC. Substituting the values, PD plus 60 is equal to X. Therefore, PD is equal to x minus 60 meters. Now, consider the right-angled triangle ADP. For angle PAD, the opposite side is PD and the adjacent side is AD. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, in right-angled triangle ADP, tangent 30 degrees is equal to PD divided by AD. We know that tangent 30 degrees is equal to 1 divided by root 3. Therefore, 1 divided by root 3 is equal to x minus 60 divided by AD. On rearranging, we get AD equal to root 3 multiplied by x minus 60 meters. In the next step, we will use the angle of depression of the reflection to obtain another expression for AD and then find the value of x. Now, let us consider the second triangle. QD is made up of QC and CD. Therefore, QD is equal to QC plus CD. We know that QC is equal to x meters because the reflection is at the same distance below the lake surface as the cloud is above it. Also, CD is equal to 60 meters. Therefore, QD is equal to x plus 60 meters. Now, consider the right-angled triangle AQD. For angle DAQ, the opposite side is DQ and the adjacent side is AD. The ratio of the opposite side and the adjacent side reminds us of the tangent ratio. Therefore, in the right-angled triangle AQD, tangent 60 degrees is equal to DQ divided by AD. Substituting the values, root 3 is equal to x plus 60 divided by root 3 multiplied by x minus 60. On cross-multiplying, we get 3 multiplied by x minus 60 equal to x plus 60. Expanding, we get 3x minus 180 equal to x plus 60. Taking the terms containing x on one side and the constant terms on the other side, we get 3x minus x equal to 60 plus 180. Therefore, 2x is equal to 240. Hence, x is equal to 120. Since PC is equal to x, PC is equal to 120 meters. Therefore, the height of the cloud above the lake is 120 meters. Let us understand this question and the figure. A straight highway leads to the foot of a tower. A man standing at the top of the tower observes a car at an angle of depression of 30 degrees. The car is approaching the foot of the tower with uniform speed. 6 seconds later, the angle of depression of the car is found to be 60 degrees. We have to find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from this point. Now, let us understand the figure. Point P represents the observer standing at the top of the tower, and point A represents the foot of the tower. The horizontal line through the observer is BE. Initially, the car is at point D, and the angle of depression is 30 degrees. After 6 seconds, the car reaches point C, and the angle of depression becomes 60 degrees. The distance from C to D represents the distance traveled by the car in 6 seconds. The car is moving towards the foot of the tower, from point D towards point C and then towards point A. Now, observe the angle at point B and the angle at point D. Since the horizontal line BE is parallel to the highway, these angles are alternate angles. Therefore, they are equal. So, the angle at point D is 30 degrees. Similarly, when the car is at point C, the angle of depression is 60 degrees. Using the same property of alternate angles, the corresponding angle at point C is also 60 degrees. Thus, we now have two right-angled triangles, one corresponding to the car at point D and the other corresponding to the car at point C. The car travels from D to C in 6 seconds. To find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from point C, we will first determine the relevant distances using trigonometric ratios. Remember the basic relation? Time is equal to distance divided by speed. Let the height of the tower, AB, be h meters. Let the distance from the foot of the tower to the car at C, that is AC, be y meters. Let the distance covered by the car in 6 seconds, CD, be x meters. For angle BCA, the opposite side is AB, and the adjacent side is AC. The ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side reminds us of tangent. In right-angled triangle ABC, tangent 60 degrees is equal to AB divided by AC. Therefore, root 3 is equal to h divided by y. Hence, h is equal to root 3 multiplied by y. This is our first equation. Now, consider triangle ABD. For angle BDA, the opposite side is AB, and the adjacent side is AD. The ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side reminds us of tangent. In right-angled triangle ABD, tangent 30 degrees is equal to AB divided by AD. Therefore, 1 divided by root 3 is equal to h divided by x plus y. Rearranging, x plus y is equal to h multiplied by root 3. From our first equation, h is equal to root 3 multiplied by y. Therefore, x plus y is equal to root 3 multiplied by y multiplied by root 3. Since root 3 multiplied by root 3 is 3, x plus y is equal to 3y. Therefore, x is equal to 2y. This is our second equation. Now, we have already obtained the relation x is equal to 2y. The car covers a distance of x meters in 6 seconds. Therefore, the speed of the car is speed is equal to distance divided by time. So, speed is equal to x divided by 6. From equation 2, x is equal to 2y. Therefore, speed is equal to 2y divided by 6. On simplifying, the speed of the car is y divided by 3 meters per second. Now, the car is at point C and it has to reach the foot of the tower at point A. The distance from C to A is y meters. We know that time is equal to distance divided by speed. Therefore, time is equal to y divided by y by 3. On simplifying, the y gets cancelled. Hence, time is equal to 3 seconds. Therefore, the car will take 3 seconds to reach the foot of the tower from point C. Now, let us find the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from point C. We know that time is equal to distance divided by speed. The distance from C to A is y meters, and the speed of the car is y divided by 3 meters per second. Therefore, time is equal to y divided by y by 3. On simplifying, y gets cancelled. So, time is equal to 3 seconds. Therefore, the time taken by the car to reach the foot of the tower from point C is 3 seconds. The question is, a man on a cliff observes a boat at an angle of depression 30 degree, which is sailing towards the point of the shore immediately beneath him. 3 minutes later, the angle of depression of the boat is found to be 60 degree. Assuming that the boat sails at uniform speed, determine how much more time it will take to reach the shore. Let us first understand the given information. A man standing on a cliff observes a boat at an angle of depression of 30 degrees. The boat is moving towards the point on the shore directly below the man. After 3 minutes, the angle of depression of the boat becomes 60 degrees. We have to find how much more time the boat will take to reach the shore. Let the height of the cliff be h meters. Let the boat be at point D initially, and after 3 minutes, it reaches point C. The point B represents the point on the shore directly below the man. Since the horizontal line through the observer is parallel to the shore, the alternate angles are equal. Therefore, the angle at D is 30 degrees and the angle at C is 60 degrees. D and C represent the initial and final positions of the ship. Point A represents the position of the observer. The horizontal line through A is represented by AE. The angle of depression when the ship is at D is 30 degrees. Therefore, angle EAD is 30 degrees. When the ship moves to C, the angle of depression becomes 60 degrees. Therefore, angle EAC is 60 degrees. Now, AE is parallel to the horizontal shore. So, using the property of alternate angles, angle EAD is equal to angle ADB. Therefore, angle ADB is 30 degrees. Similarly, angle EAC is equal to angle ACB. Therefore, angle ACB is 60 degrees. The ship takes 3 minutes to travel from D to C. Let the uniform speed of the boat be x. The time taken by the boat to travel from point C to point D is 3 minutes. Therefore, distance from C to D is equal to speed multiplied by time. So, CD is equal to x multiplied by 3. Therefore, CD is equal to 3x units. BC belongs to triangle ABC. For angle ACB, the opposite side is AB, and the adjacent side is BC. The ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side reminds us of tangent. In right-angled triangle ABC, tangent 60 degrees is equal to AB divided by BC. We know that tangent 60 degrees is equal to root 3. Therefore, root 3 is equal to AB divided by BC. Rearranging, AB is equal to root 3 multiplied by BC. For angle ADB, the opposite side is AB, and the adjacent side is BD. The ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side reminds us of tangent. Therefore, in right-angled triangle ABD, tangent 30 degrees is equal to AB divided by BD. We know that tangent 30 degrees is equal to 1 divided by square root of 3. Therefore, 1 divided by square root of 3 is equal to AB divided by BD. Rearranging, AB is equal to BD divided by square root of 3. From the previous result, we already know that AB is equal to square root of 3 multiplied by BC. Therefore, square root of 3 multiplied by BC is equal to BD divided by square root of 3. Multiplying both sides by square root of 3. 3BC is equal to BD. Now, BD is made up of BC and CD. Therefore, 3BC is equal to BC plus CD. Subtracting BC from both sides, to BC is equal to CD. Hence, BC is equal to CD divided by 2. Since CD is equal to 3x, we get BC is equal to 3x divided by 2. Therefore, BC is equal to 1.5x units. Now, using the formula time equals distance divided by speed, the time taken to reach the shore is BC divided by x. Substituting the value of BC, Time is equal to 1.5x divided by x. Cancelling x. Time is equal to 1.5 minutes. Therefore, the time taken by the boat to reach the shore is 1.5 minutes. Question. The angle of elevation of a jet plane from a point A on the ground is 60 degrees. After a flight of 30 seconds, the angle of elevation changes to 30 degrees. If the jet plane is flying at a constant height of 3,600√3 meters, find the speed of the jet plane. Take the value of √3 as 1.732. Now, let us understand the diagram. P and Q represent the first and second positions of the jet plane. A represents the point on the ground from where the jet plane is observed. The angles PAS and QA are the angles of elevation. The angle PAS is 60 degrees and the angle QAR is 30 degrees. The line segments PS and QR represent the constant height at which the jet plane is flying. Therefore, PS is equal to QR and both are equal to 3,600√3 meters. The height of the observer is neglected. Now, we will find the speed of the jet plane step by step. Let P and Q represent the first and second positions of the jet plane. Pointer represents the observation point on the ground. Angle PAS and angle QA are the angles of elevation. Therefore, angle PAS is 60 degrees and angle QAR is 30 degrees. PS and QR represent the constant height at which the jet plane is flying. Therefore, PS is equal to QR, which is 3,600√3 meters. The horizontal distance traveled by the jet plane is PQ, which is equal to SR. We will use the formula. Speed is equal to distance divided by time. The time taken is 30 seconds. So, we first need to find the distance SR. Since SR is a part of AR, we can write AS plus SR is equal to AR. Therefore, SR is equal to AR minus AS. So, we need to find the values of AR and AS. The line segment AS belongs to triangle PSA. This is a right-angled triangle. Therefore, we will use triangle PSA to find the value of AS. For angle PAS, the opposite side is PS. The adjacent side is AS. The ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side reminds us of tangent. Therefore, we will use the tangent ratio. In right-angled triangle PSA, tangent 60 degrees is equal to PS divided by AS. We know that tangent 60 degrees is equal to square root of 3. Also, PS is equal to 3,600√3 meters. Therefore, square root of 3 is equal to 3,600√3 divided by AS. Rearranging the equation, AS is equal to 3,600√3 divided by square root of 3. The square root of 3 cancels from the numerator and denominator. Therefore, AS is equal to 3,600 meters. Hence, we have found that AS is equal to 3,600 meters. Next, we will find AR using the second right-angled triangle and then calculate SR. We have already found that AS is equal to 3,600 meters. Now, let us find AR. AR belongs to triangle QAR. For angle QAR, the opposite side is QR and the adjacent side is AR. The ratio of the opposite side to the adjacent side reminds us of tangent. Therefore, in right-angled triangle QAR, tangent 30 degrees is equal to QR divided by AR. We know that tangent 30 degrees is equal to 1 divided by √3. Also, QR is equal to 3600 root 3 meters. Therefore, 1 divided by root 3 is equal to 3600 root 3 divided by AR. On rearranging, AR is equal to 3600 root 3 multiplied by root 3. Since root 3 multiplied by root 3 is 3, AR is equal to 3600 multiplied by 3. Therefore, AR is equal to 10,800 meters. We know that AR is made up of AS and SR. Therefore, AS plus SR is equal to AR. Substituting the values, 3600 plus SR is equal to 10,800. Therefore, SR is equal to 10,800 minus 3,600. Hence, SR is equal to 7,200 meters. PQRS is a rectangle. Therefore, opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. So, PQ is equal to SR. We have already found that SR is 7,200 meters. Therefore, PQ is also 7,200 meters. The jet plane travels this distance in 30 seconds. So, the distance covered in 30 seconds is 7,200 meters. Using the formula, speed is equal to distance divided by time. Therefore, speed is equal to PQ divided by 30 seconds. Substituting the value of PQ, speed is equal to 7,200 divided by 30. Now, we can find the speed of the jet plane. We know that PQ is equal to 7,200 meters. The jet plane covers this distance in 30 seconds. Using the formula, speed is equal to distance divided by time. Therefore, speed is equal to 7,200 meters divided by 30 seconds. To express the speed in kilometers per hour, we convert meters into kilometers and seconds into hours. So, speed is equal to 7,200 divided by 1,000 divided by 30 divided by 3,600 kilometers per hour. Simplifying, speed is equal to 72 multiplied by 12. Therefore, speed is equal to 864 kilometers per hour. Hence, the speed of the jet plane is 864 kilometers per hour. Thank you for watching. I hope this lesson helped you understand the concept clearly. For worksheets, notes, test papers, videos, and study planner, visit our website. Also, join our Telegram channel to get regular updates. Links are given in the description box below. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.